Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, if you're already a continued subby, thank you so much for all of your support. And I just want to say an extra heartfelt one this week. You know, you guys show up for me every single week, every single month. You're always here supporting me, and that really means a lot to me. And like I said, I really feel like Reydiant Reality is actually a community. It's becoming a community, and I feel really grateful that you guys share your lives with me in all of the ways that you do. So I'm truly grateful, and I want you to know that. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website addressed below. If you haven't seen it yet, your November Taroscope is up and out there, so go and check it out. With that said, if you haven't got your seat on the Winter Solstice Alignment Activation Session, you can hit the link in the description box below. Mercury goes retrograde on the 31st of October. If you haven't got yours yet, you can still get it half price, the Retrograde Survival Kit, in the description box below. So I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So what you needed to know this week, when I went into my intuition and I was delving into it, what I saw was a guitar, and I was like, okay, cool. So is it music? Is it there's something that they need to hear this week? And what I thought about was, you know, when you hear like a popular song on the radio and then you hear an acoustic version of somebody with a guitar, and they literally strip it right down. And that was the message that you needed to hear this week. This week, Capricorn, you need to take it back to basics. No whistles, no bells, no extras, no added bonuses, no doing more than you usually do. It's literally, that was the message that was really overwhelming. Like, I kept hearing acoustic. And when I think of acoustic, what I think is the stripped back version. And very often when you see an artist do an acoustic rendition of their song, they take the beat out, they take everything out. It's just them, the guitar and the voice. And it creates such, like, I got goosebumps and shivers as I'm talking about this right now. It creates such a harmonious thing for you to hear, right? It creates such a beautiful, heartfelt version of whatever it is that you're hearing. And this week, whatever you're doing, whether it's at work, whether it's with your partner, if you have one, whether it's with your children, whether it's your home life, your professional life, whether it's your studies, strip it back to basics. Whatever you are working on that is really important for you at this moment in time, take it back to basics. That is going to be enough, right? And you know the beauty of it as well, in all walks of life, but especially the spiritual paths, the true masters, the true ascended masters will tell you, when you have your basics down pat and you know them inside out, that's when you become a true master. They're not what the fancy stuff comes, right? It comes with time, it comes with experience. But the basics, the starting point, all the first building blocks of anything, that's where you find the true mastery, because everything else is built on top of those. Take it back to basics this week. All right. So your destiny card for the week ahead is the Death card, right? So letting go of this idea of perfection, letting go of this idea of, right, well, it needs to be this and it needs to be that and it's got to be huge and you know. And interestingly enough, the Death card represents the sign of Scorpio. This week we move into Scorpio season, right? This is where we step into that threshold. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check. I think this was the, no, it wasn't, so ignore me. But yeah, the Death card is change, transformation and transition. And the fact that we're stepping into Scorpio season and you get this as your destiny card means that you know things need to be simplified. The thing about death is, you know, as an experience, right? It's a lot of people see it as something going away or something leaving us. One, you know, to share a bit of a morbid experience, the first time that I experienced death in my own family, I thought it was going to be this awful, scary thing. And when I came face close, you know, up close and face personal with it, I just noticed that it was an absence of life, but it didn't feel like something that was unnatural, which I really was very surprised about. There's something this week that you're phasing out. It might be an idea of something that you've built up in your mind that needs to be this grandiose thing, and actually you think, you know what, no, it doesn't need to be that. It just needs to be the purest essence of what it actually is. All right, so let's give it some context and see what the direction is saying. How are you navigating this? Through the Lord and Lady, right? So this is the Lover's card, actually, and it represents choice. So you will be presented with a choice this week where you need to, and it feels like that. What I'm hearing is don't embellish, right? So interesting, because I said to you in one of your previous readings, and it might have been, I don't think it was the November reading, actually. You know, in previous weeks, I've said to you, you know, make it bigger, you know, not tell a lie, but, you know, don't be afraid to sell yourself. Whereas this week in particular, something that you're doing doesn't require anything else. All it requires is for you to strip it back and take it back to basics. Now, the fact that you've got the Lord and Lady, these are a mated, blessed pair. And this really feels for me like you are tapping into that spirit of, you know what, I'm going to take a moment just to listen to what I actually desire, right? To what it is that I truly desire. And it may very well be that that's what you're stripping back this week. You know, in some way, shape or form, you may have convinced yourself that you want this, this and this. And then you look at it and you're like, actually, you know what? None of that really resonates with who I am. What I really want is this. So you're stripping it down this week, bringing it back to basics in some way, shape or form, which is actually a very exciting place to be, because when you get clear on stuff, everything becomes easy. You know, when you really understand what it is that you truly want, what it is that you truly desire, you can move towards it easily. Your insight card is the Queen of Pentacles. This is you. You come up as your own energy, right? So the Queen of Pentacles, an earth sign female, Taurus, Capricorn or a Virgo. And the Queen of Pentacles, she understands how to get the most out of the least. She knows how to increase the yield. I mean, it couldn't be any simpler to me this week that guitar and the whole message that came through there, it really is about that. So, you know, it's interesting because I told you previously to sell yourself, right? To you know, big up your skills and not lie, but to embellish. Whereas this week you're being asked to strip your desire back to basics, to really think about actually and hone into what it is that you truly want. The Queen of Pentacles is basically saying whatever it is that you desire, you are happily, easily creating without any issues. Just make sure that what it is that you know you're saying you want, that you're putting out there, is actually in line with who you really are. A really interesting week, a very, very interesting week for sure. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care and I'll see you soon.